Hello. Happy Thursday. At least I think it's Thursday. I'm gonna be in a load of fucking hot water. How y'all doing today? I know Thursdays are not usually my strong point, but I don't have work till 8, so, you know. I exist? The horror that I exist! Oh wait, that doesn't need to be active today. Whoopsies. How you doing today, Minnow? I know, shocker, I exist. I disappeared off the face of the earth practically this week. I don't regret it though. Tuesday was good. Monday was alright. But, like, I just was like complete zombie on Monday, and then Tuesday was Lil's birthday. So it's been a bit of a busy week. But how are all you guys doing? It feels like it's been ages since I've seen all of you. Existing. I felt that. I still feel tired from all the extra overtime I had to do this week and last week. Tired. Played the new Tech Marine Space Marine 2. Oh, how is it? How is it? Since you know my PC's a fucking toaster and doesn't like running and struggles with Space Marines loading, so you know. 18 months? Fuck. Hey, welcome in, Wraith. How you doing? How you doing? Use car control set to 11:13. And my notification said 18, so if it's 13, well, then still 13's a lot. or maybe I just need a new glasses prescription. Maybe that's the problem. Crowd control set to 11. Is that an 11 out of 10? Like 11 out of 20? I need the full scale for comparison here. Oh, right. I was testing stuff last night. $11 out of 10, but everyone else is at 4. Fuck. That's insane. That is absolutely crazy. So, today, we're not gonna do too much. Mostly some videos. Gonna talk a little bit about next month, since next month might be a little chaotic. I'm not gonna say it's too chaotic, but I will say it might be a little chaotic, since next week starts our 1-month charity fundraising for Stack Up, which I am super fucking excited. I am not excited at the idea of eating pickles. I don't remember who suggested it, but I'm going to fight you to the end on that for suggesting it. So there will be a decent amount of shenanigans next month, to say the least, which may also be why I've kind of been taking a bit of an easy this week, so I can have more energy for all that when that starts next next week, month. Hell, I guess it's technically the same thing at this point, isn't it? So, which will have the return of the Bean Boozles and multitude of other things, pickles. I am also letting you guys, if you reach it, create a pizza, which might have to wait a couple days. So, I am somewhat dreading it. Did my shit just fucking freeze? I think my shit just froze. Or is this a case of the sun? I don't stream for like a week and then everything gets crazy. I'm not finding the setting right now. Go figure. It's gonna be a pickle pizza. Would pickle shots be better than pickles? I mean... Wait, so would a pickle shot be just like the juice, or because I don't really like I don't really like pickles in general, so I'm not really sure. Well, genuinely, I hate them both. So, pickle shots are the juice. I'm pretty sure I would tolerate the pickles, the juice better than the pickles themselves. Okay, that is a case of the sun being too fucking bright. Okay. Okay. Somebody turn off the sun. So yeah, Bean Boozles, pickles. I could probably toss in like stuff from like pickle shots or whatever for it. It's the sun just doing the job. Well, the sun doesn't have to be glaring directly into my my camera, making the tracking like weird. It doesn't need to do that. It don't need to. Terracotta pie. I'm not quite sure what terracotta pie is. But I might have to be told on that one what that is. Let's try this again. Take this from the charger for now. I'll send you a short.
Have you or a loved one been experiencing symptoms such as coughing, wheezing, or shortness of breath?
Who is blurping? Hey, welcome in, Kane. How you doing? Happy 2 months. Happy 2 months. But yeah, so that is the the bare minimum of what I got on the books for like charity stuff. Yeah, my phone is not liking VTube Studio right now. Ads in 30 seconds. Well, Twitch, you can... Twitch ends ads. Like, why? Pretty good. Glad to hear. Glad to hear. So... And then if we go over the goal, which I'm pretty sure we will, I'd be more surprised if we didn't. I may or may not drop some hints on the 4.0 for next year. Although I know some of y'all have already seen it. Oh yeah, and you're also getting the meowing at the end of sentences. You guys are also getting that. Oh, Jazz, don't be like that. So, yeah, all next month is all charity stuff. Every stream. So, I'm not sure how it's gonna go. I already know though we got some awesome little like multiplayer games and stuff that's gonna go. Hey, welcome my name Queen. How you doing? Guys, feels weird holding my phone because fucking camera's being weird. You know what, actually, what if I just... I hate the sun. This is why I'm like a fucking vampire. Maybe this will fix it. Maybe. Oh, for fuck's sake, now it's not balanced. But the sun grows our food. I mean, you're not wrong. But I could still be annoyed at it. I think it's like the worst I've had the sunlight glaring on everything. Although I am curious if there is anything you guys want to see, which I'm going to ask this again when the ads ends. But because I do like, but while I enjoy planning things, I also enjoy having stuff that you guys can do. Sunlight, yeah, basically. Because I basically have part of this because like my blinds are partially damaged. And the sun is like blaring down on where I usually have my my phone for my tracking. So it's just been like, yeah, I'm gonna make everything a problem now. So send me a short. Awesome. Alright. So we can see what terracotta pie is. Banana terracotta pie. Oh yeah. And like, well, here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. I got vBridger tracking for this model, but the regular tracking works better for me than vBridger. So, rip. I just need to not be lazy and replace the blinds, and I'd be fine, but that's effort, and I'm short. So, and I don't feel like it being like me trying to like get on a chair and then either be too tall or too short, trying to just, you know, take them down, put them back up, and oh, just I can't win. I'm not getting a 2.0 model. So, if you want to be technical, this is technically like 3.0. Because 2.0 is, where is she? She lives somewhere on this computer. If I can find her. I really should have had Ferris label these better. Mac, Holiday, Regular, Chibi. One of these is 1.0, one of these is 2.0, and I'm not sure which is which. I think it's, is it you? Are you 2.0? Okay. Yeah. This was 2.0. Sometimes I can keep my models straight. Hey, morning, Jaffe. Yeah. The model that I can make bodiless was 2.0. We don't talk about my 1.0 model. We don't talk about that. Like, she was great. She was nice. But, he definitely could have been a lot better done. So. How you doing this morning, Jaffe? How you doing? So it would technically be... So, Nepcom would technically be a 4.0, but I'm honestly pretty much considering going back to the roots of this one. So, I think I'll still be a cat, though. I don't think I'm gonna go back to a fox. Short streamer. I mean... Actually, out of curiosity, out of everybody who's here, is this the version you met me as? Oh, if some of you guys met me from when I first did my first Flat Electrician video, y'all have seen my original model, so... Could have been worse. I mean, yeah, it could have been worse, yeah. Okay, if I can find her. Let me just disable this for a moment. Oh, I would have been more surprised if you had seen it, Kane. I would have been more surprised. Alright. Because, like, you would have to dig into David for on YouTube, because I did not keep the model very long. Like, at all. Alrighty. Here is the OG. This was my original model. Have to develop clairvoyance. No, you don't gotta develop clairvoyance. This was my original model. She did not last very long. Yeah, Queen remembers her. Clairvoyance achieved, yeah. Yeah, this was the original. Yeah, she's like 2 years old, I think. Happy birthday, Noma! I mean, then there was like the black and green pre-made, And then there was also the Vroid, but I don't really use the Vroid anymore because that like a lot of resources. I really didn't like her rigging, if I'm being honest. And then I just kind of like fell out. Like I still like her design and everything. I still do, but I kind of fell out of love with her. So it was a case of that, really. But yeah, like she's super cute. Like, cause I still have, I think she's probably the only one I have like a full like. Well, no, she'd be this one. No, because this one also does. But she's on the one I got a full like image background for. If I'm being honest. So she's like a special place in my heart. Yeah, I didn't like the rigging, and then I ended up falling out of love with the design, so she kind of just got benched. Yeah. So, which I'm still 50-50 on if 4.0 is going to be a cat or if she's going to be a fox. I don't know yet which one. I don't know. So, because honestly, I like them both. Yeah. Like, I can't really pick between a cat or a fox because I really like them both, if I'm being honest. Like, I think if I could do, when I get the next model, I might just have to make a toggle that I can just switch them because I like both. Make a Chimera of both. I mean, that is an option. Alright, Noma, I hope you have a good afternoon, evening, day. Happy time zone. I'll see you next time. You have a terrible joke. Oh, just say it, Minnow. I expect the terrible jokes out of you. You don't have to hold back at my expense. Unless it's really that cursed. In which case, still let it out. If you make it a cat and a fox, does that make it a biracial bisexual? Wouldn't that technically be bispecies? Wouldn't that really technically be more of a bispecies than anything else? Fucking hell, Minnow. I was expecting you to go there. But I mean, the last part would be correct no matter though. However you look at that would be right. But oh my god. Oh Jesus Christ. Why are y'all like this? Wait, why am I asking? You've been here for over a year. I should know. I should know better. I should know better than expect anything less. Foxes are somewhere between cats and dogs. Well, I'm pretty sure I got the dog side of the brain when it comes to a fox because I ain't that clever. I'm not clever at all. So I'm just a cat with the dog brain cell. I'm not clever. I'm not clever at all. If I was, well, you know. So, as I was saying before the ads rolled in, um, during the entire 1 month charity stuff, well, I already got some stuff fit. Like, is there anything you guys want to see? It's pretty much a fox, so very fitting for the first model. Yeah, like, I love all my models, honestly. Like, two of the models have been foxes, and then you've had this one in Chibi Cat. So, but like, I'm thinking I might just have to kind of Alien Isolation, but I have to see the Xenomorph ones. No! Don't make me play Alien Isolation! No! 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 Make me play Alien Isolation again. Don't. Don't make me. Keelag is calling for you. I got. Also, Dead Space. True. Dead Space is an option. Dead Space is an option. I have to get it. Okay, you know what? I will cut you guys a deal. I will boot up Alien Isolation. Oh, fuck you, Queen. I'm not playing Phasmo VR. I will boot up Alien Isolation again. If we somehow manage to go double the goal for stack up. Manage that, I will put Alien Isolation back on the table. Just play VR Phasmo. Queen, I played VR Phasmo once and my neighbor thought someone got murdered. We are not doing that again. I mean, I do have Rogue Trader. I do own Rogue Trader. So that is possible. I haven't played it yet, but I do have it. Since I think what's his name? Where's that YouTuber guy with Warhammer that we were watching the other day? Had that like thing with them. I got for like $20. Voldemort. Okay. I couldn't remember. Wasn't entirely sure on his name. Like, I'm terrible at names. Baldy. Also, I think I may have found one of my favorite games from Steam Next Fest. Well, if you don't know, Steam Next Fest is going, so there's like a bunch of fucking demos right now on Steam to play. I discovered that there was a 16-player duck one, which I might be a little obsessed with. Because nothing like murdering all your buddies while you're all ducks. So, oh, you saw it. Yeah, I saw that the other day, and I'm just like, yes, yes. I have to find it again. It's on Steam. Like, there's so many right now on Steam. So it's a game called Slowly Sliding Ducks. It's not really, and usually going down a bunch of water park rides as a duck, and essentially just competing with each other, and it's great, and it looks fun as hell. I need to remember to put that on my wish list before I forget. Yeah, there's nothing like going on a bunch of water park rides and terrorizing your friends with them. As a duck. Something like that before on stream. So that was Placid Duck Simulator, where the ducks just kind of just chill. They don't really do anything. This one's more is actually like multiplayer, and we can like mess with each other. Yeah. Which honestly, I think the game looks fun as hell, and with it being like having capacity for 16 people, it's a game I got my eyes on. And I'm really looking forward when it gets out of when it goes into early access. Yeah. Well, I haven't ran Plastic Duck Sim in a while. I got tired of hearing all the ducks fall. So this is what it's called. It is called Slowly Sliding Ducks. We're trying to be the best duck in the water park. It looks like a great multiplayer game. Yeah, like there is so many games on like Next Fest right now. I know I'm not gonna be able to play through all the demos I want to. I already know that. And I kind of wish it lasted longer than the second, but not so fortunate on that front. So I'm hoping, which big word on hoping there is that I'm hoping is before all the horror demos are kind of misplaced. Yeah, but at the same time, I can understand why they chose Next Fest, because that's generally when a lot of people look at the demos, because it's expected. Hey, welcome in, Relics. How you doing today? Don't mind my model's weird tracking today. That I had to move my setup a little bit because the sun was being the devil today. How you doing today? I mean, there was a couple horror demos that I will admit I am a little curious about. Which, Relics, if you ever start taking like wood carving commissions, let me know. Because I love your carvings. They're so fucking pretty. Alright. Is there anything else I need to talk about before I get too distracted? Covered stack up next month. Some new incentives, milestones. Okay. Although there probably won't be a actual like graphic, I'm gonna say, for the whole list of like the charity stuff probably until tomorrow. Since I've been, for lack of terms, I've been a bit of a snail this week. You intend to have one more in the line to be after the Phoenixes. I mean, like, don't rush yourself. Like, you don't have to rush for me. It's just, if you ever do, like, because I honestly, I really like your carvings, and I kind of want to get one as a gift for my sister, which I think she would like really like. Neat. I can't promise I will look at it right this minute, but I will definitely look at it. Let me find that terracotta thing. Pokemon Bad Singer. Oh, my kick chat's not fucking connected again. What the? I wish this would be notification when something's logged out. Is there anything playing today? No, today's mostly gonna be like video stuff because I do technically have work in like 2.5-ish hours, so I'm gonna be a little limited on that front today anyway. Okay. One more video I wanted to grab for today. I know I saw on my dashboard earlier. And now you're going to be gone because I wanted to watch it. Alright. Let's just, since I'm limited on time today, let's just get right on into stuff. But first, though, I'm gonna see what this banana terracotta pie that was mentioned. So, like, I can see what exactly this is. And then we can get into the other videos I wanted to watch today. Yeah, Mel blogged me out a kick. Okay, I've never been more confused by a video and asked what terracotta pie was. I've never been more confused. We just chilling today since I got work later, so mostly chilling. Yeah, I feel so bad. No, I can see Twitch chat. Oh, or is the audio broken again? Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. The audio broke was user error. Oh my god. Good now? Okay. Like, I have been, like... You stress me with that, Meadow, because I was fighting with, YouTube for, like, a half hour or so the other night. Because YouTube didn't want to go live or whatever, and I was like, well, I don't have any violations or anything like that, and it's like, so why is my button not here? So it's like, just did not want to cooperate. Which was also a pain about the last time you played Halo. True. True. Like, I'm wondering if when my stuff went down hard the other week, like I'm legitimately wondering if something like got broke, because it's been like weird since then. Yeah, I'm not I'm not ready for Halo Reach with Tanya. I'm not ready. I'm definitely not ready for Halo Reach with Tanya. Which, just gonna try putting you back here now. Maybe. Okay. Which, it blows my mind though, especially when it comes like Twitch and Kick, especially when one's having issues, because they're run exactly on the same servers. But Noble Team needs me. I should let Hanya ride with Cat and just let Cat drive him off the edge of the map. Yeah, we're gonna do that next week. Alright. So, starting off the videos for today, we will do the villains. Which I got really excited when I saw this video in the stuff. I was really, really excited. So, 30k lore Militarum Auxilia Felonians. Suicide bomber Anya doing his thing. Well, I mean, it's funny because he didn't really get any comeuppance with attacking NPCs and anything, anyways, until he played Halo 3. I'm pretty sure it was. Where he got a taste of where they will fuck around back and deal with him.
Militarum Auxilia. Lore and commentary will begin after a brief story to get us in the mood and show us what is to be discussed. From the Bald Library, Scratch and Sniff. It was rare. Very Militarum Auxilia. They were of the 73, and not high up the list of purity either. Most of the time, these things were in a form of semi-quarantine. I remember when I read the orders assigning some of them to my theatre. It was like someone threw a cup of cold vomit right in my face. We'd fought hard for months, held ground none could have dreamed stable. No air support was possible, but the most blatant, and thus the least useful in this scenario. We'd not been reinforced for all that time. Resupplied, of course, but not rotated out. We were supposed to have been overrun weeks ago, according to wide-eyed convoy men. Top brass could not believe it. So they dared not cycle us out. We'd been the only units able to hold them at the tree line. And this was the most horrible of postings. Jungle warfare. They came at any time, odd times, all the time. Wave after wave of them. All would be still, but never silent, of course. There was always a cacophony going on in that damned jungle. Then, out of nowhere, a scream would rent the air, and then they'd all bellow that horrific war cry of theirs before hurling themselves at us time and again. If we broke them, they always came back. If they hit us, they made bloody bits of our lines before we withdrew, formed up, and drew up new firing lines and cut them down with volleys. We lost the 13th, 15th, and 19th before we learned to do the...
I don't really know that much about the Vietnam War to make that kind of comparison, so... Well, just remind me, though, I do have a Warhammer book coming in the mail soon, so super excited for that to get here.
The unpalatable. So, sometimes we even fired into their melee and hit our own. But if we didn't, they simply charged the next block of us and repeated the carnage. We lost the 17th due to hesitancy. Never again. We fought back each time, of course, but they were huge. Muscular, fast, ferocious, feral, and deadly. Greenskins. Orcs. They made recon nearly impossible. Most think of them as morons who are little more than animals. But this is not the case. Oh, they're animals, all right, but not dumb ones. But we had to try. We had to know if they were mustering and in how many numbers. We tried. But this was their realm.
That was a bit too much.
Close, violent, personal. The scouts we sent out into that jungle rarely came back, and never with their full complements. Vicious spike traps, ambushes, all resulting in attrition too high to risk our scouts, but it was too important not to use them. All of this, for months. And they had sent us a regiment of Auxilia. A mere few thousand, and the men would not like it. Not one bit. Or so I thought. We all did. But they also sent heavier firepower to fortify our positions. Many more guns for box barrages. many mines, many heavy emplacements. It looked like they wanted us to dig in further and really punish the orcs. We were up for that, of course. But why the Auxilia, then? They arrived by chimera convoy like any other outfit, but they kept to themselves and disembarked straight into their camp zone. Commissars were patrolling the entry points into their section of the camp, keeping all away from them. At this point, nobody knew who or what they were. We just knew they were Auxilia scum. We dug in, as instructed, and the commissars called a mass meeting to discuss the newcomers' duties. Shocked, we were told these poor blighters would be exclusively going out as our new recon duty, and their remit was not to find the enemy and record report and then retreat. No, they were to goad the enemy into the camp's enhanced defences. They were supposed to go out to purposefully anger the greenskins. High Command had conceived that we would be able to punish them and truly get to grips with their numbers. If we could drain their forces enough, their numbers brought down, they could be containable, and then Command could go back on the attack. Then I was escorted to their encampment to view the fighting men and women they had sent us for this suicidal mission. I was prepared to have to hold my gorge, to then wash my hands when I got back to my quarters to wipe away the filth. Yet when I saw them, they were not like anything I had ever witnessed before. My escort was a set of commissars that looked like they ate their own kind for breakfast. Hard men, even amongst the elite of the Schola Progenium.
Punches everything for us
These
to
were the
shot themselves in
commissars
the
that would
foot.
execute an entire company with their own hand, rather than see even one of them retreat. And then I saw them, stood to perfect attention, rank upon rank of them. They looked so much like us at a distance that I was relaxed when I came closer, and instead of fearing them, I viewed them more as a curio, an oddity. They snapped a simultaneous salute every bit as sharp as my
Aw, they look adorable. I just want to give the felon the pet. Even though it'd probably be murderous, and probably not a good idea to pet them, but look adorable.
own men. They were rigid, disciplined, well-trained, at least in this regard. I could only hope that they would be as effective as my own men. But I could not see how they would survive in that terrain against that enemy. Jungles filled with greenskins, feral orcs. For none of them were particularly big. None could make it into a grenadier formation, is what I thought then. Each was wiry.
You know, with how much you guys have told me that there's cat girls in Warhammer and whatnot, it's just like I'm seeing this because I thought for a while that you guys were just fucking bullshitting me about the felonids in Warhammer. I thought y'all were fucking with me. I did not realize they were an actual thing. You guys were not. I mean, there's a few of you, there's a couple of you in here who would pull my leg.
Barely a scrap of fat on any of them when I went in for closer inspection. Each had a short, downy set of fur across every inch of them. I had worked with feral world regiments before, but this was not being unkept or shaggy. They had fur on their faces. Their eyes, that was the worst of it. Those slits instead of circles in the middle of their orbs, it made them feel more different than they were in any other regard. Even when one answered my bitten-off question and revealed their sharp teeth and huge canines, it was still the eyes that were the most disconcerting. Like being watched by a dragon or another otherworldly predator. But they acted just like my own men, at least while I was present. When I discussed their position and duties with their commissars, I expected sneers and shrugs, or even outright rebellion. But no. I was shocked to be told that they knew their role, and were looking forward to taking the fight to the Xenos scum. I shook my head, for despite their hard exteriors, these commissars quite obviously did not know what they were talking about. How could they? To be so blasé about their orders, for they spelt certain death. Again, so I thought. It was the first engagement that wiped away my concerns, and after the third, I was not even concerned about them being in the same camp anymore, and certainly not for their safety out there in the perpetual green of the jungle. They were simply amazing. I learned to never question High Command again, for they must have been divinely moved to give us such warriors. They were gifts from the Emperor himself. For these felinids, they went out there, hiding in the trees, crouching in long grasses, darting in and out of shade and shadow, while the orcs tried to get closer to our fortifications so we could not order massed bombardments without hitting ourselves. The felinids danced around them like they were Grok's cattle herds. Time and again we witnessed the felinids come running back to our lines and diving over the embankments and palisades even. Their speed and agility were terrifying to behold. And every time they darted home, they dragged huge mobs of orcs with them, directly onto our well-prepared firing lines. The slaughter was soul-enriching, life-affirming. Often they would then go out again to check that the full extent of the orcs had been destroyed. Entire carpets of twitching greenskins lay before our ramparts. We sent out details to clear and cremate them, always while being watched over by our felinid allies. Over the next weeks, the haul from each goading party of felinids became thinner, and finally, their officers asked if they could coordinate large sweeps into the jungle to take the fight to the orcs. And with them watching over us, supporting us, drawing smaller groups of orcs into well-prepared traps, the amount of heads we had taken was the envy of the entire army. Despite their strange genetics, these warriors were the toast of the camp near every night. We were winning this war now, because of a mere 2,000 of them. The only oddity that I ever could not quite compromise was that they never, ever had any fires in their camp, and when they ate, it was never, ever with us. But some things are best left alone. In the Guard, if it is not a problem, then it isn't a concern. We have wars to win. Welcome, gentle listener. I am Voldemort, your faithful servant, and I wish to introduce you to the factions, forces, and faces of the Warhammer 40k setting, the grim darkness of the far future, where there is no time for peace. There is only time for war. And today, we shall be taking a brief look into an element of the Militarum Auxilia, and specifically Homo sapiens hirsutus of the planet Carlos McConnell, the felinids. But first, let us get a basic comprehension of what that means. For most with even a passing knowledge of the Imperium of mankind are aware that it is, as oft touted, the most barbaric regime imaginable. Well, for humans anyway. Let's not dwell on the Drukhari of the Dark City or the horrors of the Chaos Lords. And as such, any form of deviation from the norm is not just frowned upon or derided, but most often actively sought out and quashed. Although exterminated with great prejudice is far closer to correct terminology.
True, Minnow.
Now, this is not just based in ignorance and superstition, although they have a hefty part to play in the reasoning for such annihilations. For many forget that during Old Night, the period where the old human Star Federation fell, on the coming of the Imperium, there were thousands of years of darkness, where humanity was near pushed into extinction. Alien races saw the weakness of humanity and fell upon us, enslaving, exterminating, or even farming entire populations of humans for filth or food. But either way, sustenance. In the grim darkness of the far future, it is not simply illogical rage that makes the Imperium so dangerous. It is the racial memory of having Xenos boots on human throats. The Great Crusader found so many human colonies either utterly destroyed or placed under the thrall of truly terrible beings. There is no wonder that this shock, the viewing and then collating of so many instances of atrocities, burned itself onto the memory of humanity. And this was then reflected in how they treated others, aliens especially. For in the initial waves of the Great Crusade, there were races who were left alone, and
Star Wars is a cat people race as well as we produced some Jedi in the old expanded universe. Star Wars, really? I'm gonna have to look into that one. Because, y'all know, I don't really know that much about Star Wars. I know a little bit about it. I don't know enough to have an opinion on it. I'll put it that way.
even offered protectorate status if they were of use and were not guilty of being a threat or a historic enemy of humanity. But as the crusade went on, even these tiny slithers of clemency were finally eradicated, for there really is only so much a man or woman can take before their hearts grow cold. Their rage is initiated, and vengeance is the only thing that they can consider. But how does this pertain to the current subject? Well, it has to be noted.
Don't insult Yoda like that, Minnow.
Periods between its golden age of technology and the rising of the Emperor, thousands of years later. For the warp was filled with storms, and travel was largely impossible outside of brief windows of opportunity that never lasted long. And the worst of all wars since that between the Necrons and the Old Ones had blasted much of the galaxy and destroyed so much of the power base of humanity, its technology. Perhaps it was the cybernetic rebellion that required the assistance of alien races to defeat them that was used as a backdrop to the assaults on humanity in that period. It is impossible to state for certain, but the unleashing of the cybernetic rebellion could well give a cause. Hence, colonies that survived this rebellion and were cut off from the galactic empire of humanity were suddenly left adrift in the Sea of the Void, without supply, support, or succor from the rest of the race. So when enemies came, they had little recourse but desperation, and she is the mother of all innovations. Hence, over the period, many human strains broke off from the genetic baseline, and these were dubbed abhumans, still humans, but not entirely of the standard. Some strains were due to environmental circumstances, as with Homo sapiens gigantus being ogrins, or Homo sapiens minimus, the ratlings, who would not be out of place offering a wizard a good day on a fine morn. Yet this is not the case for all abhumans. Some humans were changed to a warp taint, becoming mutants, and this was barely tolerated by even the Crusade. Then, as time went on, the Imperium no longer needed their manpower for its wars, so they were often butchered. Not all, but many. And now they are an underclass in some worlds, but most just get rid of them. Now this is mainly due to the belief that they may be tainted and thus unloved by the Emperor is the party line, but it is those at the top tier of society who may be permitted to know about chaos and that are motivated by this knowledge to wipe out mutants. But the difference between a mutant and an abhuman is significant. For mutants have children that can be utterly different to themselves, with no consistency of what traits are passed on to the next generation. It is simply the roll of a dice, and results can be terrifying. In the case of abhumans, they may well be different to humans, but they are a stable genetic variant. So if an Ogryn breeds with another Ogryn, they produce an Ogryn. And the abhumans are not well treated at all, but are considered at least human. As I was saying, many forms of abhumans are due to environment, but others are due to genetic engineering. It could be for a myriad of reasons, to change humans so that they could thrive on a planet simply not suited to us, or sometimes it would be to provide advantages that improve their performance in battle against all assailants. With the felinids, Homo sapiens hirsutus, it is clear that their genetics were altered and elements of terran felines, or cats, were blended in. As such, they have exceptional agility, endurance, speed, and very acute senses. They are able to perform feats of acrobatics that are closer to Eldar than human, and have a soft covering of fur over their entire bodies, even their faces, and of course, extended canines and sharp teeth. They are known to come from only one world in the galaxy, the planet Carlos McConnell. Usually, they are semi-quarantined, the Imperium acknowledging that they exist, but keeping them hidden like a dirty secret, as many abhumans are. Of the many strains of abhumans discovered in the Great Crusade and the Age of the Imperium, only 73 of them now exist, with tens of these strains teetering on the brink of extinction. And the Imperium will not usually take much interest in supporting those on the way out. Why should they, when the worlds they populate could then be filled with true, pure strain humans? With the exception of the most prolific and very close to human Ogryn and Ratlings, generally other abhumans are left to their own devices, and it is exceptionally rare to encounter one outside of their home system. Yet, as with all of the Imperium, it is so huge, has existed for so long, that there are occasional members of this abhuman race in the darker corners of hives, or spoken of as mythic, but based on very real encounters. And on rare occasions, they are called upon to provide a tithe. There is nothing much on their world of use to the Imperium, so it is presumed that when they are tasked to fulfill their tithe, they do so in manpower, who will swiftly be trained and deployed in the Militarum Auxilia. So now, we must touch on that body. For many trillions of men and women in the Astra Militarum would be deeply offended to be considered similar or of equal worth to the abhumans of the 73. The propaganda used by the Imperium is humanocentric, of course, so the abhumans are treated as subhumans, and this continues into their training. For most abhuman regiments are taught by Ministorum priests that they are unworthy, somehow stained by their difference, so that they have guilt ingrained into them at a very deep level. They have to work and sacrifice themselves to the wishes and wars of a god who can be persuaded to forgive them for the crime of their own birth. They need only show fanatical devotion to the Emperor for him to forgive and then love them, as he does the rest of humanity. It can mean that many abhuman regiments are every bit as fanatical as those from Krieg. As they are rare and quite important resources in war, and to make certain that nobody construes them as being equal to humans, they have the Militarum Auxilia. Alas, no matter how devout they are, the Officio Prefectus will send their most hard-bitten and fanatical commissars to lead and watch over these regiments. And often these regiments have the most priests of the imperial cult ministering to them, watching them, and punishing them alongside the commissariat. Yet when they are deployed to a war zone, the deviations that mark them out are what define their increased effectiveness in battle. Hence, the Militarum Auxilia are not just attached due to their special requirements in the chain of command, but also due to their lethality and the requirements to be used in the right way. Although an officer of the Auxilia will most likely not shed a tear for any they lose in combat, they show their devotion to the Emperor by making sure that the skills of their units are not squandered, not simply thrown away as a first wave of any assault, bullet absorbers and the like. It is a difficult line to walk, and can be the cause of tension between wings of the Astra Militarum if particularly truculent and dense officers are in charge of the campaign. The felinids themselves are not well documented, and there are only brief notes from a rogue trader who discussed them with a Kroot of all things.
Getting violent and doing damn near impossible missions for booze. I mean, yeah. Well, wait. That depends. Is it good booze? Because I know I could do some questionable shit for some really good booze. I'm not gonna lie. Not to say I'd actually do it, but the idea is out there. And we're good just get shit faced quickly. I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, the thing is, like, I suppose the booze would probably be mostly wouldn't be very. I mean, there's probably a few different varieties of booze probably in Warhammer, but I I don't know. Like, well, being drinking and getting shit faced quickly sounds a lot of fun. It's not my thing personally, but with that said, put in the additional context, I can't exactly say I blame them either, though. Because I will admit, I do. It's good booze is sometimes hard to come by sometimes. So, is the auxilia, is that just like a blanket term for the non-humans? Or is it a little bit more complicated than that? Or they just put auxilia just as to help differentiate the different groups of them? I'm not smart, okay? Like, I cannot wait for that Warhammer guide to get here so I can just open it, read it, and become more enlightened on Warhammer. That should be long enough. I mean, I can say I don't think I'm pretty sure. I don't think I've ever been properly shit faced. As I was pretty sure the most I drank when I lived was when I lived down in Virginia, and I don't really particularly remember getting shit faced back then.
Nothing has really been stated about their culture, history, or way of life. So hopefully, this will be a nice surprise one year when Games Workshop decide to get their finger out and provide more options in the Astra Militarum range. For I have often wanted to start an Imperial Guard army and convert a few squads to felinids to go with my Scots, Ogrins, and Rattlings. Perhaps I will even throw in a few Longshanks, Neandors, or Goliaths. But that is definitely a subject for another
Or the
day
Empire.
and
That's
another
adorable.
video. I have been Baldemort, your faithful servant. If you have enjoyed this video, then do consider hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell, as I would not want you to miss out. You can support the ongoing work by joining the Patreon if you are in a benevolent mood.
I think that covers Baltimore's video, looks like. Yeah. Go to Virginia, all you find there is a bunch of naval soldiers. I mean, I didn't live when I lived down in Virginia. I didn't live far from Langley AFB or Norfolk, so. But yeah, there's definitely a good between naval soldiers. A lot of people working in the shipyard. Yeah, I can I saw that a lot. Yeah, 5:45. Okay. Well, I think I was one in Langley Air Force Base. I'm pretty sure it was once, and that was to go to the commissary because one of my exes was on base. I didn't know if it was the largest. Like I knew Norfolk was a very large port. I just didn't I wouldn't but it was also one of the first ones like I saw. So I had like no comparison on for size on naval ports. I will say though, I hate that fucking tunnel near fucking Norfolk. I hate it. I hate it. I still hate it, despite not living there for years. I still hate that damn thing. Especially when some guy decides, yeah, the underground one, because you got some guy who decides I'm gonna push my gas tank and decide to run out of gas straight run out of gas under through the mountain. No, man, no, it's not under the mountain in this case. It is not under the mountain. And so yeah, it's and the guy decides I'm gonna push my gas tank out. I can make it. I can make it. And then they run out of fucking gas in the fucking tunnel and make everybody's problem. Had an aircraft carrier go under the bridge there. It took like 30 minutes. I know, Mano. I know it's from The Last Airbender. I've seen The Last Airbender. Not as much as I probably should have, but I've seen a decent chunk of it. But yeah, I hate that. I hate that fucking tunnel. I hate it so much. I should watch Avatar, rewatch Avatar: The Last Airbender. I've heard mixed things about the what's it called? The Legend of Korra? Heard mixed things about that one. Why is there a retractable bridge right when you get out the tunnel? Right? God forbid. They made sense. But yeah, I don't get it either. I skipped that. Fair? Fair. Okay, so I think that's like an hour. So we'll do you know what? I think even though I know like they told me no during when I last spoke with them at the Air Force Museum. I think when I go up there, because I'm planning on going either next week or the week after, depending on on how much I have to spare. I think I'll still bring like my camera and stuff in case they because I'm gonna ask them anyway since I'm doing like charity stuff next month. See if they'll see And if they still tell me no, I'll just take a shit ton of pictures. But if they let me stream, if they do change their mind, let me stream up there. That'd be pretty fucking cool. Anyway, the company that owns sports instead of advertising. Oh yeah, for sure, right? For sure. Because I'm planning on having a good time anyway, no matter if they let me or not. Like, I'm just gonna take a sit down pictures anyway. So. Which I'm pretty sure this video is about fucking Red Bull. Which, all I could think of Red Bull is, Billy Mitchell propaganda. You're gonna need to give me a little context for that. Because I'm not sure who Billy Mitchell is. I should get a little talk about this as like context hat. Alright, anyway, we'll get into this.
Company on the planet. Today we're talking about Red Bull. Why are we looking into energy drinks? One, because I drink energy drinks and I like them. And two, I actually own part of an energy drink company, Echelon, and I decided, you know, if I want my energy drink company to be successful, I should probably look at what all the other successful companies are doing so I can replicate it or improve upon it. Genius. Be honest with you, I almost skipped right past Red Bull, went straight to Monster because, well, honestly, I don't really like Red Bull. I think it tastes like cough syrup. It's got way too much sugar in it. I don't like their tiny little cans. You guys have seen my wife. I'm an Arizona tea.
I felt that. I absolutely hate the fucking taste of Red Bull. I felt that so much. And then again, I don't really like energy drinks. Which might be a little ironic considering I'm inspired by affiliate with Advanced VG, but I like their hydration stuff. I like it.
Size can kind of guy.
That means two things.
Until I did the research for this video, I was thoroughly convinced the only reason Red Bull was still in business was because it tastes good mixed with vodka, and the only reason people think it tastes good mixed with vodka is because it's the only option of energy drink any bar ever has. But then the voice in the back of my head is like, wait a minute, why is Red Bull the only option at every bar ever? Like, how come bars aren't offering like White Monster or Cherry Lime Ghost or Echelon or any other energy drink that tastes 1,000 times better? And then also, how come every gas station I've ever been to has an entire, you know, like door dedicated almost exclusively to Red Bull while all the other energy drinks have to share shelf space? So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm living in a bubble. Maybe Red Bull's way more popular than I think it is. And boy, is it, because they have 43% of the global market share for energy drinks. To put that into perspective, they sold almost 14 billion cans of Red Bull last year. Okay, do you understand how big of a number 14 billion is? That's 200,000 tons of aluminum just for the cans alone. Okay, that's like 440 million pounds of aluminum every single year just in Red Bull cans. Okay, I'm just yelling big numbers at this point. To put it into perspective, the Iowa class battleships, the biggest battleship
I didn't know Red Bull was that dominated.
57,000 tons. You're putting out Red Bull cans equivalent to 4 of the largest battleships ever fucking made every single year. So yeah, they're way more popular than I thought, and we're gonna get into it right after a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Henson's Shaving. Okay, look, they've sponsored the channel before.
That's just... I was expecting Red Bull to have that much of a market hold between, you know, like Monster and... Usually when I think of like drinks and cans, I don't think Red Bull first. I think like Monster. Which that might be because a lot of places where I've lived or worked, it's been a lot of like Monster that's been in the cases, not Red Bull. So, still like, fucking hell. Almost half is fucking insane.
Ad, buy nice shit, buy it once, use it for the rest of your life. I'll have a link in the description down below. Back to the video. All right, let's take it from the top. 1976, Thailand. There's this guy by the name of Chaleo Yovuda. He grew up in rural Thailand as the son of a duck farmer, which I didn't know was a thing, but whatever. Anyways, he grows up, he decides he doesn't want to be a duck farmer forever, so he moves down to the big city of Bangkok, the capital of Thailand. While there, he works as a bus driver and a pharmaceutical salesperson, and then eventually opens up his own pharmaceutical company called TC Pharmaceuticals. They basically import cosmetics and antibiotics. And in 1976, he decides he wants to create his own energy tonic, which is a popular product in Asia at this point in time, not really popular or well known anywhere else in the world. Basically, it's like the predecessor to what we know as an energy drink today. It's these little shots that you can buy at the pharmacy. They've got caffeine, taurine, B vitamins, all the shit that's in a normal energy drink. You go to the pharmacy, you buy it, you drink it. It's like drinking an energy drink. Buh! I heard they put bull cum in it too. Buh! No, they did not put bull semen in the Red Bull, okay? It's an internet myth. The whole myth comes from the word taurine, which is in like every energy drink ever. Taurine refers to the word Taurus, you know, like a bull, and everybody's like, oh, it must obviously mean bull semen. No, it's literally just a derivative of red meat, okay? You get taurine from eating a steak, they just extract it and they put it inside the energy drink, okay? It's
the internet.
I assumed there was semen on everything.
So he ends up making his own. He calls it Krating Dang, which is Thai for red gore, and a gore is like this type of bull-looking animal they have over in Thailand. It's like a symbol of strength. And from here, he just starts selling his product. He's a pharmaceutical rep. It's an easy layup for him, right? Oh, you want to buy this new energy tonic too? Great, here you go. And he's selling it to all these pharmacies. And then he decides, you know what? People that are shopping at pharmacies don't really need energy drinks. The people that need this are people like my parents, the farmers, the people like me when I was being a bus driver, like blue-collar people that are actually working for a living are the people that need this product. I need to market it towards them. So he starts marketing to the blue-collar workforce, and the main way he does this is by sponsoring Muay Thai fights, which is like the biggest sport in Thailand. It's like sponsoring the NFL in America. And pretty soon he goes from selling his product inside of pharmacies to selling his product in pretty much every convenience store type location. I mean, they don't really have gas stations back then in Thailand like America has gas stations, but think of like roadside mom and pop shops where you'd buy like food, water, drinks, stuff like that. Anything you would need, there's Krating Dang there right by the register. Okay, it's kind of like those weird gas station boner pills that you see at truck stops. Okay, don't give me that look. You know exactly what I'm talking about. They've got like the one pill in the package with like a rhino charging at you and like an explosion in the background. It's like, be bigger, harder, for longer, bleh. Okay, and then right next to that, there's Krating Dang, an energy tonic with two giant Red Bulls headbutting each other. Like it's one of those. But Krating Dang actually becomes outrageously popular and is being sold all over Thailand because, again, Chaleo tapped into a market that nobody else was targeting, blue-collar, hardworking people that actually needed a product like this. Fast forward to 1984, an Austrian businessman by the name of Dietrich Dietrich, his name's Dietrich.
You say your name right now.
He's a marketing guy for some big company. He flies into Thailand for a business meeting. He's got jet lag, so before his business meeting, he stops at a convenience store, sees this energy tonic that's supposed to, you know, give you a little pick-me-up, decides to drink it. It cures his jet lag. He absolutely loves it. Problem is, they don't have products like this anywhere in Europe where he's from. And he's a marketing guy. He sees the potential. So he ends up going to Chaleo and like, hey, we need to start a new company and start marketing this to Europe and the United States of America. People in the West would absolutely love this shit. So they end up working out a deal. Chaleo can keep Krating Dang. That's his own company. That's his thing. That's what they're going to sell in Asia. But they're going to start a new company to market this product in Europe and the United States of America. And nobody knows what the fuck a gore is in those places. So they're going to rename it to Bull, and they create what we know today as Red Bull. 49% owned by Chaleo, 49% owned by Dietrich, and 2% owned by Chaleo's son.
You guys are getting paid?
Dietrich then takes Krating Dang back over to Europe for product testing, and people do not like it, okay? It's not very good. It's literally like medicine at this point in time. So they refine the formula, they add some sugar, they carbonate it, they make it more like a beverage, and then they send it back into product testing, and it does okay. Okay, this is the same flavor of Red Bull that we have today, right? Like, it's not good. And I'm assuming it's because flavor science back in like the 1980s wasn't that great. Like, energy drinks today, they taste exactly like Sour Patch Kids or Swedish Fish or anything that you can have a flavor for. They somehow managed to make that liquid taste like that. Like, you could have a Doritos flavored energy drink if that's what you really wanted in 20.
That sounds terrible. Don't make a Doritos flavored energy drink. Don't do that. No, just don't. That just sounds, no.
26.
good time.
And then you have like Red Bull, the OG energy drink, and it tastes like Red Bull. Like there's no even identifiable flavor that it kind of tastes like. It tastes like sweet chemicals.
Kerosene is fuel, Brian. Red Bull is fuel. Kerosene is Red Bull. See, Brian? I feel great.
Now, to most people, you'd be like, okay, well, let's figure out how to make it taste better so people will want to drink it. But Dietrich, being a mad genius, is like, no, no, no. Tasting like shit is actually a strength, because then if it tastes like medicine, people will know that it actually works. Which is one of those things where it's like, it's so stupid that it's actually brilliant, because that's exactly what a lot of people are gonna think. Like, I know so many people that are like, no, 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 if it sucks to do, it must be good for me. Okay, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that Red Bull is like the craft beer of the energy drink world. Okay, we've all been around these craft beer people where you like go to the brewery with them and they're like, oh, do you like IPAs? Do you like sours? And you're like, I have no idea, dude. I just like beer. Just whatever you recommend, that's what I'll try. And then they order you what they supposedly like and they hand it to you. It doesn't even look like beer. It looks like a potion that some wizard just made in the back. It's all thick and foamy and shit. It's always got some stupid name like, okay, this is my favorite IPA. It's purple unicorn muffin tops. Then you take a smell of it and it smells like grass clippings and regret. And you're like, you don't want to be rude. So you try this guy's good beer and it tastes like you dissolved a pine cone in acetone. It's horrible. And then they get all smug and arrogant like, oh, you don't like it? Can you not handle the hoppiness? You don't like the bitterness of it? Maybe your palate's just not refined enough. Like, no, fuck off. That tastes like carbonated tree bark. You know that tastes horrible.
Pure IPAs. So, I'm pretty sure I've had a discussion before. I've never really had a lot of beer in general. So, even if I was to say I would go to the store and look at like a whole like beer selection, I wouldn't know anything about what the fuck I'd be looking at all. I would just be like, because I remember at one point, one of my friends asked me to pick them up stuff, and do I like the butter aftertaste of beer? I find it tolerable. I don't particularly like it. I don't hate it. Bitter. Again, like I don't hate it. I don't exactly love it either. It's just like it's just okay. I mean, like you guys know, I don't really like super sweet things anyway. So I know one of my friends like, oh yeah, can you pick up a case of beer? And I'm just like, so I get to the store and it's like, take my phone, call them, and it's like, hey, what do you want exactly? Because I don't know shit. Okay, Relics, enjoy the rest of your day. Night. Have fun. More hops generally means a more flavor. I mean, fair, but there is such a thing as too bitter. As I learned that. It probably does. It probably does. Don't tell you what to do. Well, that's too damn bad! Like, because I thought I liked bitter things, and then I got a taste of Baker's chocolate, and it was like, oh, there is a limit to how bitter I like something. Because no one told me that Baker's chocolate was just like generally used for baking. They weren't really supposed to like eat it by itself, and that was a reckoning as a child. Because I was just like, ooh, chocolate. And I got absolutely wrecked by it.
Actually, it's a sneaker.
Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyways, Red Bull is supposed to taste bad, like it's part of the marketing strategy. And from here, Dietrich really turns on the marketing genius because he's like, you know what would pair perfectly with we've designed it to taste bad so people know that it works? if we combined it with being a luxury product. Krating Dang was marketed to, you know, blue-collar, hardworking people. It was sold for fairly cheap. So Dietrich is going to take basically a carbonated version with more sugar of the same product. He's going to put it in a slimmer, fancy, prettier can, and he's going to market it to rich people instead and jack the price through the roof. Okay, I'm going off the rails again. I'm sorry. It's IPAs. It's literally a carbon copy of the IPA business model, even though Red Bull did it first. Like, literally, IPAs, you could go to the liquor store, buy a 30 rack of Busch Light, Miller Light, Coors Light, whatever beer you want, or counter offer, you could buy a 4-pack of IPAs that have a pretty can and a corky name and taste like shit for 3 times the price. But hey, you get to pretend like you're sophisticated and better than everybody else, so it's worth it. I'm sorry, I really don't like IPAs, if you guys can't tell. Moving on. Anyways, Dietrich jacks the price up. It costs like 9 cents to manufacture a can of Red Bull. They're selling anywhere from $3 to $6 a can, depending on size. Now remember, we're trying to sell this to rich people. We're trying to be a luxury item. Where do we go to target rich people? So they start selling this stuff at ski resorts. And around the same time in the late 1980s, there was this other thing going on at ski resorts. It was like this cultural revolution around ski resorts. Snowboarding. It was like the skater rebellious version of skiing that was for more like grungy, less hoity-toity people. And you know who fucking loved Red Bull and energy drinks? It was all the snowboarders. And Red Bull geniusly recognized this, right? Because sponsoring already established mainstream athletics is extremely expensive, but here's this other new up-and-coming sport that we think is gonna be big, and they already love our product. We're gonna start investing in that instead. So Red Bull starts sponsoring a bunch of snowboarders, and then that expands out into all the other extreme sports like skateboarding and BMX, and then it turns into Red Bull's just sponsoring anything that's like that high adrenaline junkie type stuff that you see on the internet, like jumping out of planes in a squirrel suit, or like racing a car down a mountain really fast, like anything that's dangerous where you're like, holy shit, how does somebody get that good at doing that without dying? Red Bull's sponsoring that now. Then Red Bull realizes like, okay, this demographic is almost exclusively like young men, so that's our demographic. That's who we're gonna target. We're gonna target young dudes that wanna be amped up and do crazy shit. We can't target high schoolers yet because they're not of age, so we're gonna target the next best thing, college kids. Red Bull starts going to all the big party colleges in the country and starts finding like the guy that throws all the parties or like the fraternities and just starts giving them cases and cases of Red Bull for free, like, here, drink this shit. They hired hot college chicks in little Red Bull mini skirts and outfits to walk around college campuses giving out Red Bulls for free out of cooler backpacks. They went as far as going to popular events with a lot of people and filling a bunch of the trash cans up completely with empty Red Bull cans, so people would see that and be like, holy shit, that's a popular product, and they would go buy it at the concession stand when they were there. This cost them a ton of money, probably tens if not hundreds of millions of dollars in free product that they just gave out. But it was totally worth it because guess what a bunch of college kids are gonna do with free energy drinks? They're gonna mix them with alcohol so they can party harder, longer, and this was the birth of the vodka Red Bull, which turned into people going to bars asking for a vodka Red Bull. So naturally, after the bars got asked enough for vodka Red Bulls, they decided they needed to start stocking Red Bull. And that is why bars pretty much exclusively only carry Red Bull and no other energy drinks, because they were the only energy drink around and everybody wanted vodka Red Bulls. So when they started stocking Red Bulls so they can make vodka Red Bulls for everybody, Red Bull made them sign a licensing agreement like, hey, we'll give you this free little Red Bull mini fridge, we'll stock it for you, but here's the deal, you're only allowed to sell Red Bull energy drinks, and everybody agreed to it because at the time, they were the only energy drink around, and all those licensing agreements are still in place, and that's why almost every single bar, at least in the United States of America, just has Red Bull. So from here, Red Bull just becomes outrageously popular. Like, it is the OG energy drink. It's literally the third most profitable beverage company on the planet. It's Coca-Cola, Pepsi, then Red Bull. And if we're being honest, Coca-Cola and Pepsi aren't really competitors with Red Bull because soda and energy drinks are two different things with two completely different markets. So as far as I'm concerned, Red Bull is the Coca-Cola of the energy drink world, and just like Coca-Cola, they also got accused of having cocaine in their drink. Yeah, around this time, Red Bull was getting super popular, obviously very popular with young people, so naturally, older people fucking hated it for no apparent reason. They're like, oh, it's bad for you, it's unhealthy. They're lecturing all the youth about it while drinking black coffee and smoking on a cigarette, explaining how it's bad for your heart.
Hey, you leave my black coffee out of this.
Just trying to pin Red Bull to the wall on anything they could find was Red Bull had a like organics flavor that was Red Bull Cola, and it tested hot for having cocaine in it. Basically, because it was a cola flavor, they were using coca leaves, you know, Coca-Cola. They were using coca leaves. They were decoconized leaves, meaning they didn't have cocaine in them, kind of like decaf coffee doesn't really have caffeine, but there's still like a tiny little itty bitty trace amount of cocaine in the leaves, just like with Coca-Cola. So they went to the table and be like, there's cocaine in this.
I don't know. I swear to God. Swear to me.
Anyways, Red Bull ended up like hiring the scientists, and they're like, you would have to drink like 12,000 cans of Red Bull to actually have that cocaine take effect. Literally, you would OD on every other ingredient in the Red Bull before you ever got a high from that level of cocaine. I believe the official wording was it was a negligible amount of cocaine, which honestly sounds like you went to court with Charlie Sheen as your lawyer, but hey, that's a great name for an energy drink flavor. Like, that should be the official flavor name of Red Bull, negligible amount of cocaine. So from here, Red Bull spends years and probably a ton of money, like hundreds of millions of dollars in courts, battling with governments. They're getting banned in different countries in Europe, then they get them unbanned, then they end up getting sued because their OG tagline was Red Bull gives you wings, and they got sued because Red Bull doesn't actually give you wings, apparently.
I'm sorry. Isn't that just fucking common sense? Like, wait, why? It's a fucking slogan, like, I don't understand. Why would they sue over a fucking slogan? That's so goddamn stupid. Like, I understand going for, like, false advertising or whatever, but it's like, it's a fucking slogan. Turns out common sense isn't so common. Yeah? Yeah? I hate it. I hate it. When people are dumb and don't get it. Sometimes I worry for society.
I guess they actually ended up losing the lawsuit because the court said, well, yeah, we didn't actually think it would give us wings, but we thought it would increase our athletic performance, and they couldn't scientifically prove that drinking Red Bull increased the performance, so they ended up losing the lawsuit.
Oh, okay.
But Red Bull comes out the other side bigger, stronger, more popular than ever. And at this point, like I said, they're the third biggest drink company on the planet. They're making billions of dollars a year. And they're like, okay, we've got the whole, young extreme sports thing on lock. We've got the college kids on lock. Now every bar is only allowed to sell Red Bull. Where do we go from here? We're finally ready. We're finally a big enough company. We can start doing those mainstream sporting athletic sponsorships that we were thinking about originally because we can afford it now. Not only can we afford it, we can afford to go a step further. You know what's cooler than sponsoring an athletic team or sponsoring an athlete? Just buying the fucking team outright. Red Bull just starts buying entire professional sports teams. They have one of the largest and most diverse professional sport team portfolios of any other entity on the planet. They're the only company on the planet that owns 2 F1 teams. They own 6 professional soccer teams, 6 pro hockey teams. They have a pro rugby team. Like, they own everything. And in another stroke of genius, they go a step further with it. Because they're buying multiple sports teams in the same sport, they use one of the sports teams as like their main team with their best talent, and they use the other sports teams as like their reserve, where they train people up and get them really good and build them a fan base, and then they eventually migrate up to the top level team. And in doing this, an athlete's pretty likely to end up being like a Red Bull soccer player his entire career, or a Red Bull F1 driver his entire career. So now not only is Red Bull associated with like the team franchise, it'd be like being associated with the Indianapolis Colts. Now instead, every athlete on that team and that athlete's fan base is associated with Red Bull as well. So now Red Bull isn't just to, keep with the analogy, it's not just associated with like the Indianapolis Colts, now it's associated with Peyton Manning. It's brilliant. They've vertically integrated everything flawlessly. So now not only are they making money selling their energy drinks, they use that money to buy professional sports teams to promote their energy drink, to sell more energy drinks, but also the professional sports teams are really good and they're making money too. Rather than paying to promote their product like every other company on the planet, Red Bull literally figured out how to get paid to promote their product. It's crazy. And then their social media marketing gets even crazier because they're getting paid to do that too. Look at their YouTube channel, 27 million subscribers, and every video has millions, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of views. Okay, inside baseball, there's no like standard base pay for like how much money you get per view if you're big on YouTube. It depends on creator, length of video, what demographic you're in, yada, yada, yada. But the general rule of thumb is every million views is about $5,000. They've got 164 million views on a single video. That's like $820,000 they made to promote their own product. And none of these videos come off as like an advertisement. It's all just just crazy people doing crazy shit. Like they're doing parkour in an airport. There's one where they're like driving a 10-ton Red Bull truck down the most dangerous road in the world. There's another one where a dude skydives from outer fucking space. Like they just associated Red Bull with doing crazy cool shit. And they figured out how to get paid every single step of the way, because they're not just getting paid for getting 164 million YouTube views. That's 164 million people that just watched an inadvertent Red Bull advertisement and are now going to subconsciously associate Red Bull with doing something awesome. And that's the big takeaway from this. It's branding. Red Bull is not the best tasting energy drink. It's not the healthiest energy drink. There's almost no metric where you can give Red Bull the title of best at anything involving being an energy drink, but they have the best brand. It's not about being the best. It's about being the favorite, which makes complete sense because you have to appeal to human emotion. You have to connect to people to be able to get them to spend money on your product. Think about it like a UFC fighter. You could be the best UFC fighter on the planet. You're undefeated. You finish everybody in the first round. But if you're an unlikable asshole and you don't have any fans, you're not going to get paid a lot of money. You could be a B-tier fighter that goes in there and has entertaining fights. He wins some, he loses some, never becomes a world champion, but he's got a ton of fans because people like him. That guy's going to get paid more money by the UFC because that's how it goes, because he generates more money because he's the favorite. And Red Bull, because of their genius marketing strategy, is the favorite, and that's why they're successful. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch, maybe drink some Echelon. All that's available over thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out. I'm gonna get so many requests to do a video on gas station boner pills. I know it.
Oh, that was certainly interesting. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to get a Red Bull sponsor, honestly. That would be a terrible fit for me, because the thing is that I don't really what is it? Oh, I just turned on the light. Because I'd be a terrible fit because I don't like Red Bull to begin with. So any like type of promo or advert or anything like that would just not be genuine. And I don't like not being genuine with you guys for anything. And then I think if I had to just drink it, I don't I couldn't. I couldn't. I do not like the idea of getting something, drink it for like a little bit, and then I would just end up dumping it all out. I think it's a fucking waste. Like, I think honestly, if I was a, hey, Iconic! Welcome on in! Like, because here's the thing, if I was to get, if I had to pick from all the canned energy drinks that you can buy in store and everything, I have to say I would probably pick Ghost out of all of them. I'd probably pick Ghost. Yeah, man, it's been a while. How you been? And I say that even though I barely drink Ghost anyway. Like, because I'm pretty sure Ghost is something I've probably only thing I've had when I've had a couple 16-hour shifts. Doesn't Bang have chance to explode your heart? Bang makes me feel like my heart's going a million miles an hour, so I don't like that one. I can't do Monster. I can't. I tried Monster in high school. Was not a fan. I never had the juice ones, but but yeah, I like Ghost. So Like, don't get me wrong, I love my advanced GGs. I really do. Like, I'm pretty sure I got, like... Because I still have, like, advanced, Mogging Mystery flavor, which I still have not touched yet. Which I probably will at some point, but... It's... Like, I got a few of their energy flavors I have not, like, tried yet. Yeah, like... I got, if I'm looking at just like my advanced shameless plug time, I'm terrible at doing plugs, okay? Like, I can't. You got the advanced Ramoon. So, you guys might remember a while back I got that entire like mystery box, which I haven't had to restock since I got it. But I will say, advanced GG's, sour grape, focus, so fucking good. 10 out of 10. Cannot recommend it enough. And I say that when I don't even really like do a lot of energy stuff, because I'm more of a I like more of their hydration stuff personally. Which if you want to try it, code Scarlet Ami 10 for 10% off. But yeah, you guy drank like a dozen monsters because he had a super high metabolism. Skinny as hell, but he ate as much as 8 men. That sounds a bit like my sister, honestly, because she's like a stick, and she can eat a lot too, but she doesn't gain. On one hand, I'm jealous because I wish I could do that. And on the other hand, it was like I kind of had. It's always appreciated, but never required. Like, I think it would be, I think it would be amazing if I was able to get like a shaker or anything like that. But I also understand everything's expensive. We all just try and get through shit. Back in your oil field days, you down 13 monsters between 6 kill 10 pots of coffee. I mean, I'm pretty bad about coffee, I'm not gonna lie. You had the big monsters. I mean, I have way too many shakers. I only have a... Let's see. I have a Dubby shaker from my time with them, which was very, very brief. And I have one shaker from Waifu Wares. That's it. I was supposed to get an advanced shaker, but when I got affiliated with them, they were all the ones for their starters were out of stock. So I do not have any. I do not have an advanced shaker. which is a me problem, but it works out though because I still have this like I finally caved and got a one of those really large water bottles containers for work. And I've just kind of just been using that instead. I have like 6, but you only kept the anime ones. I mean, I got conflicted feelings about Debbie. I'm not gonna lie. Their server security is fucking dog shit, though. I'll tell you that. $6.24. I probably can't really watch that video because that video is gonna take too long. Of course, iconic. Dubby's another. It's a newer energy drink supplement stuff. I think they use I think they use coffee extract for those. I think. I'm not entirely sure. You kept the anime ones in your. I. Yeah, I just wish it was easier to like be able to get stuff like shakers. Oh, the shitty server security. So I'm not sure how much has changed, but when I was affiliated with them and I was on their server and stuff, I could not go 2 or 3 days without getting some message request from a fucking bot. Like, I would like go to bed and then I would go into Discord the next day or so, and I would have between 1 to 3 messages from bots, and it's like, stop, please, can you not? And it's like, yeah, I could just disable messaging, but I like being social, I like talking to people, I like making friends, and it's like, I don't want to turn off my messages. So, like, I couldn't win in any regard there. And then I can't remember what it was. There was something W did. I don't remember what it was, and then I was just like, yeah. I'm not doing this, and ended up leaving them. Was a free agent for a while. Then my buddy Zaga hooked me up with Advanced, and I've been with them since. Nothing against Gamersups, but I can't really, can someone be antisocial that they are social? Well, AJ, let me tell you something. In person, I am very extremely socially awkward. I'm not very sociable. But I will also tell you, when I start getting to the point that I am tired, and then I am overtired, when I am overtired, you cannot make me shut up. And I will just ramble and ramble and ramble worse than I sometimes do here. Like, you would have to tell me to shut the fuck up. Like, there is. Which sometimes I don't know how I feel about that, but you know, it's fine. Probably. Certified yapper. Yes. Yes. Guys, you tire on me out now. No, you don't. No, you don't. Well, I'm pretty sure though, if y'all found the right topic, y'all probably could, but because the problem is, AJ, you would need to get to the point where I get overtired, but I don't fall asleep. And generally, when it comes to streaming, I'm gonna call it before when I start getting tired, because I don't want to risk falling asleep on stream. Even if I have kill commands for stream to end it if I fall asleep, but still, no, not allowed. More coffee. I'm I'm trying to remember. Minnow might. Minnow, do you remember by chance how long I lasted the last time I tried to do a 24-hour stream? Um, so it's more of a Twitch thing. It's a case of Twitch doesn't like unmoderated chats or unsupervised chats. So it's a case of, because I'm small enough, I would probably be safe and Twitch wouldn't come down on me. Or probably, knock on wood. With that said, though, it could still, if I got found out and like say there wasn't like any like moderation or anything around, I could get in a little hot water with them. Granted, I don't think I have any infractions, so I don't think I'd be like banned for it, but I might be suspended or some shit, but you know, somewhere around 16 hours. Yeah, I thought it was somewhere around there too. Because I remember I ran out of steam at some, which I do still want to do another 24-hour stream, but I think my problem is I need to find something that like that has me sucked in really well. Which unfortunately, I do know a game that can do that, but unfortunately my PC plus streaming with that game plus VTube Studio, my computer will not do it. It'd be like the equivalent of me trying to run Final Fantasy 16. My computer does not like Palworld and VTube Studio and streaming at the same time. It does not like it. I tried it once. It's like it doesn't end well. I'll put it that way. Just bounce back to the screen. It doesn't go well. Although I am super excited for Palworld, for when Palworld gets out of its official release. 24 hours straight of Warhammer lore. You guys, no, bad, no. We don't do that. We do not need to do that. RAM is too goddamn expensive right now. And you know, the shitty part is, I had RAM. I bought RAM. And I can't hear you. I got nothing for that. So the thing is, I bought RAM last year to put in my computer, so I could go up to 32 gigs. Because I only have 16 in my computer. But the RAM was DOA, which was unfortunate. And unfortunately, well, I do have a 319 sitting in its box right now. I can't put the 319 in my computer because, unfortunately, to do that, I need to upgrade every other thing in there. Like, my CPU, my motherboard, all that shit has to be upgraded for me to put my 319 in. If you need a RAM, I know a guy on a ranch who sells RAMs. Nah, not those kind of RAMs, AJ! Not those RAMs, no! No, not those RAM. Not that kind of RAM. Although they are fucking cute. So, I'm hoping maybe, depending on how taxes go, that maybe I can get like the Alright, bad. A Dodge Ram, then. Bruh. If it was a Dodge Ram, like, I could sell that and get money for parts. It was just Dodge Ram. But if maybe with some luck with taxes, I can maybe get the critical parts that I need to use my 319 with the new RAM. Just drag myself down to Micro Center and see if they have any of their bundles with like either DDR4 or DDR5. Preferably DDR5 though. And then I can just pop them in, swap parts out. Then, well, no, that's the wrong order. That's the wrong order. Buy all the components I need, because I'm pretty sure I can swap my storage over without any issue. But I'd get the parts, and then I would clean off part of my desk, or more of my desk, or use on my coffee stuff so I could because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to get a new case, because I don't think this case is large enough for everything I need for the new build. And then I'm gonna end up calling Easy, probably. No, do not. That could have been bad. Fucking Siri. Then get the call him and walk me through the process of trying to put the fucking thing together, because I've never built a PC in my life. The most I've ever done is like reseat a graphics card. That's the most I've ever done, really. So it would not be a good time. Why do you call it RAM? It's like building Legos. You say that, but I'm not sure it is. Random access memory. For some reason, I thought it was read-only access memory, and that didn't sound right in my head. Like, because I can see, like, even, like, I had to put the, I tried putting in the new RAM, like, I can see in certain ways that, like, the motherboards are labeled, so I can kind of have an idea of what goes where on the thing. But with that said, I'd still feel hella anxious putting those parts together without knowing much about it. Not to mention, like, I don't know, it's just mentioned, like, also, I don't know, I'm going with liquid cooling, which, I don't know shit about liquid cooling. Did that one while you spent 2 hours finding the right slot for one of your plugs? Kane? When I opened my case to try and put my RAM in, I thought I had a disconnected fan, but it was only a cable for fucking daisy chains. And I had no idea because the thing was not fucking labeled. Liquid cooling open water hose on computer. No! No, we're not taking a water hose to my computer. Like, it may be a little dusty, but we don't need to blast it with water. because there was a really shitty multi-part plug and apparently could slot a round pin in a square hole, but not the other way around. Pre-made liquid cooling or DIY? I'm pretty sure it's an all-in-one. So I don't know. Waterboard the PC. We are not waterboarding my PC. No, no, no. At least not until I have a new one. Not until I have a new one. Which this PC has to last. Because my laptop, well, I like my laptop to death. It cannot really handle streaming. At least, because it does not even like running VTube Studio. But that might be a memory issue. But just put the entire PC in a bathtub. Why are y'all like this? Why are we putting the PC in the bathtub? Installing a pre-made all-in-one is okay. Okay. Yeah, because... Yeah, I think it's a, I want to say it's a Corsair Nautilus, I believe, is the, liquid cooler. To clean it. Well, I know it's possible to clean it on a computer. I don't believe you use regular water to do so. Build a giant exhaust fan on a wall to pull heat out of the room. AJ, if I could do that, I would do that for the summer. Because holy shit, this room is not well ventilated. So this room becomes like a fucking toaster in the summer. Like, it's miserable sometimes. Summer, the one season I contemplate if it is worth disassembling my desk. To bring it downstairs. To reset up my PC. Because it's cooler. But at the same time, this desk is from IKEA, and I don't want to deal with that. Granted, I do need to get a longer desk, so I can potentially fit a second monitor up here, and join the 2-monitor squad. Maybe. Probably not, but, you know, it's fine. Yeah, we're not considering putting my PC in the bathtub. We are not doing that. Although the case could probably use a good cleaning, though, to be honest, since even though like I do periodically like blow it out and stuff, but the case could probably use a good cleaning, honestly. You're back from the ads. Nice. Welcome back. So yeah, I'm hoping... Like, my main goal is... I'm hoping that we can get through this, What's your thought on the exhaust fan? You can properly use old plane turbine. I would rather, if we were to take a giant exhaust fan where we would use that in the summer, to take all the hot air in here that comes in summer and just blow it out of here. Get it gone. Get out of my room. Because I need to cool it. I opened your recently to install a better CPU and surprisingly have 2 cats, almost no dust. Nice. I know when I was staying with my sister for a while before I was streaming, I had this PC and I stayed in there and I stayed in their basement. And they probably have like, let's see, what is it? Titan, Stripes, Dipstick, Leia, Muffin, Oreo, Elsa. Am I missing anybody? Yeah, they had 7 cats. And I was pretty surprised I do not have to clean out my PC more often. Although they did try to use my PC as a warmer. They did try. Good filters then. Oh yeah, they tried so hard to use my computer as a as a nice sitting spot. They tried so hard, but they didn't really get that much in there. Honestly, I find it kind of funny because I've had to blow my computer out more here than I did when I was living down there, and I find that absolutely hilarious. Yeah, I guess I do got a good filter. No, I gotta say, it's gonna be weird though when I get a new PC. It's gonna be weird as hell. Because I'm about to figure out how to move everything over. Seen some YouTube videos of a guy who restores computers. Oh, I believe it. You see, my favorite thing I did when I was small, because I was the cause of my mother needing to bring her computer into getting it serviced. Which, lucky for her, her brother works on my late uncle. He worked on computers. So, little young me was fascinated by the CD drive. And I realized one day that I could take a paperclip, I could put it on the drive, close the drive, and the paperclip would disappear. And me and my sister both got fascinated by this. And we did this to the point that the CD drive would no longer open. So we eventually she's like, hey, she calls her brother up, telling him how her CD drive won't open and whatnot. And he's just like, okay, bring it over and whatnot. So he gets there, paper clips. We kept on putting paper clips in because we jammed the CD drive with paper clips. That ham slice is correct. So we get there. So we're all over there, and he's in his little home office, open his computer and everything. And he's just looking at it, and he's just like, "Girls." And so me and my sister just looking at each other like, "Yeah," because we were small, and he has half the mind to just, and he tells us politely to not put paper clips in the CD drive, and then proceeds also to chew out my mother because she had to not have been watching us for us to put that many paper clips in to jam the entire thing. I mean, it still worked, but But it was the case of we jammed we jammed the entire CD drive for her computer. Cause we were just fascinated. Cause like paper, it's like, oh, thing goes in, comes drive thing opens back up, and it's gone. We thought it was magic. Hide the paper clips. Oh my god. No, I need the paper clips. I need those. I need paper clips for work. Don't hide them all. Just leave me. Just like leave me like 5. 5 should be plenty. Five should be plenty of paper clips. Just after the paper clips. No, I need my paper clips. I need my office stationery. I need those. Don't take them from me. Yeah, I can see now is a chimera just holding a giant paperclip in its claw and it's just running away with it. That's all I see right now. This is an intervention. Why is this an intervention? What do you mean? I'm getting an intervention for something I did maybe... Actually, I'm not gonna dox my age. I'm not doing that. Years ago? If you ever see a flashing fork, find an outlet and put fork inside. Don't really do it. Yeah, I will make sure I will turn the breaker off first. Although I swear, like, sometimes I swear, like, those, like, child-proof devices and stuff that they make, I swear some of them are also adult-proof. Or maybe I'm just clumsy. Or bad at using things. Like, I'll admit, I am ashamed to admit how long it took me to learn how to use a fucking bottle opener. Maybe just Omni-proof. Maybe? Well, by process of disk drive is almost certainly pre-2010. I'll let you have that one. I'll let you have that. Alright, let's see. Damn, so we're almost 7. Fuck, I don't want to go to work today. Even if it's only for a few hours. Okay, stop kids from going certain areas you can take out or adults. Oh yeah, I've been guilty of that too. Let's see. Which, I mean, I don't think there's... But that's honestly, if it works for both, I mean, should be fine, right? Granted, I've been bested by a lot of stuff, though. Let's see. Fortunately, I do have to go to work here soon, so... if y'all could stay for the raid, that would be amazing. Coffee machine versus Ami. So, thankfully, the coffee machine has never successfully bested me. Except for the one at work, because it is a fancy coffee machine that I do not know how it works. That one has bested me more times than I like to admit. Should advertise them as kids / burglar proof. I mean, that could work. That could definitely work. Let's see. Who is live that we can say hello to? Since fortunately, I do have work. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Just chatting, marathon. What y'all think, marathon or Pokemon Yellow? Which one y'all feeling? See, you want me to go see her go poof again? No! I don't think I've read a Growl in a while. Yeah. Alright, yeah, so. Let's see, he's playing Pokemon Yellow, so. We're gonna go say hi to Growl. But Julie's currently playing Pokemon Yellow. There will be if you missed it, there will be a new video up on YouTube loaded tomorrow afternoon. And then Saturday morning, there will be we'll do some marbles on stream Saturday morning. Anyways, y'all take care of yourselves, and I will catch you guys later. Bye!